Welcome, dear listeners, to a night shrouded in history and suspense. Join us as we step back in time to the besieged city of Leiden, where our faithful companions, Oliver and Isabella, sit atop the city wall, their eyes fixed on a remarkable scene. In the middle of the night, they bear witness to the dramatic flight of the Spaniards, fleeing from the relentless waters. This is a pivotal moment in the city's story, one filled with hope and determination. So, come, and let us accompany them as the siege of Leiden unfolds. Oliver and Isabella sit close to each other under the protective cloak of Galileo. From their vantage point on the city wall, they are in awe as they watch the surreal spectacle unfold below. The Spaniards, gripped by panic, scatter in all directions, in the inky blackness of the night. Their footsteps, frantic and desperate, echo through the night, and the cries of men who have endured the hardships of siege and starvation fill the air. The once mighty force of the enemy now appears as a disarrayed and retreating swarm. Isabella and Oliver exchange glances, their hearts heavy with the realization that the tides of history have shifted. As the night sky gradually fades to a lighter hue, Oliver and Isabella notice the first hints of dawn approaching. In a few hours, the sun will begin its ascent once again, bathing the city of Leiden in the warm light of a new day. Oliver turns to Isabella, his voice low but filled with anticipation, and asks, "Isabella, what would you prefer to do now? This is the perfect moment to slip away unnoticed, to go wherever you wish." Isabella contemplates their options, knowing that the cover of darkness will soon be lost. Isabella turns to Oliver, her eyes thoughtful, and says, "Oliver, it might be wise for us to venture beyond the city walls onto some of the dry parts of the lands and explore the abandoned Spanish camps. If we're still eager to travel back in time to the year 776 before Christ, we'll need some suitable clothing for that era. Perhaps we can find something useful amidst the remnants of the Spanish camps just outside the city gates." Oliver's face brightens with enthusiasm as he responds, "That's a fantastic idea, Isabella." They share a hearty smile, their sense of adventure growing stronger. Sitting atop the city wall, they open the bag once more, savoring another sandwich as the sun begins its ascent. Its golden rays stretch out over the fields that surround Leiden, casting a warm glow over the landscape. The flooded lands now appear as a shimmering tapestry of water and earth, with remnants of the Spanish camps visible in the distance. As Oliver and Isabella watch the sun's golden beams casting a warm glow over the partially submerged fields, they notice a daring young boy has ventured outside the city gates. He's making his way toward the abandoned Spanish camp on higher ground. Isabella turns to Oliver and suggests, "Look at that brave young lad, Oliver. He's going to explore the Spanish camp. Perhaps this is our chance to venture out and see what the Spaniards have left behind." Oliver agrees. "You're right, Isabella. This might be the perfect moment. Let's follow him and see what we can find." Isabella adds with a confident smile, "Come on, I know how to get out of the city." Oliver quickly dons his coat and slings the bag over his shoulders, ready to follow Isabella. She leads the way, climbing down from the platform and walking to another section of the wall. Together, they descend the stone stairs, their footsteps echoing in the quiet morning air. Isabella guides Oliver with confidence, saying, "This way." As they reach the base of the wall, they encounter a familiar face, the guard stationed in front of a gate. It's their neighbor, Mr. de Vries. They exchange warm greetings, and Isabella explains, "Mr. de Vries, we need to go outside for a moment. I saw some doves near the wall." Mr. de Vries nods in understanding but offers a word of caution, saying, "Of course. You may go, but be very careful, please stay on the dry parts and keep close to the walls." With his permission and guidance, Mr. de Vries opens the small door and Isabella and Oliver make their way through the gate, in the early morning light. Oliver and Isabella waste no time as they walk briskly along the city wall of Leiden, keeping a keen eye out for places where the ground remains dry amidst the partially submerged fields. After a short walk, they enter the first of the abandoned Spanish camps. The early morning light reveals scattered tents, discarded equipment, and remnants of a hasty retreat. But what catches their attention most is the sight of the young boy they had observed earlier when they were atop the wall. He stands near a fire, where a large cooking pot is suspended above the crackling flames. The boy, his face smudged with dirt but eyes filled with curiosity, looks up in surprise as Oliver and Isabella approach. There's a moment of silent recognition as they recall seeing him from their earlier vantage point. Isabella, her voice gentle and friendly, says, "Hello there. We saw you from the wall and decided to come and see what's happening here." The boy, still slightly wary, nods in acknowledgement but doesn't speak. His focus remains on the fire and the bubbling pot above it, which emits tantalizing aromas. Isabella and Oliver exchange glances, realizing that the boy is enjoying a meal from the pot suspended above the fire. The rich aroma wafts through the air, making their mouths water. The boy, sensing their curiosity, points toward a nearby wooden crate where several wooden spoons are arranged, extending a silent invitation for them to join in. Isabella smiles warmly and takes a wooden spoon from the crate. She dips it into the pot, serving herself a generous portion of the savory concoction. Oliver follows suit, and they join the boy by the fire, their senses filled with the comforting scent of the hot meal. Oliver, his curiosity piqued, can't help but ask, "Isabella, what exactly are we eating?" Isabella takes another spoonful and examines the contents of the pot. She smiles and explains. "It appears to be a stew of sorts, Oliver. Potatoes, onions, and carrots, I suspect. They must have been simmering away in this pot for hours. Everything is wonderfully mushy, and the taste is simply delicious." Their young host nods in agreement, and for a moment, they all share a hearty laugh. Their laughter echoes through the quiet morning air, a joyous sound amidst the remnants of the Spanish camp. The young boy, still not uttering a word, puts his spoon down and points to his eyes with 2 fingers, followed by a motion as if he's walking. Understanding his gesture, Oliver and Isabella get up and start doing the same, in search for something they can use on their next journey. They begin to explore the camp, looking into crates and tents. Amidst their search, Oliver stumbles upon a remarkable find. He discovers a big hat with a large, extravagant feather adorning it. With a mischievous grin, he places the hat atop his head, the feather swaying in the morning breeze. This unexpected discovery sends again ripples of laughter through the camp. As Isabella continues her exploration of the abandoned Spanish camp, she stumbles upon a valuable find, a stack of white sheets and an additional bag. She excitedly gathers them and returns to where Oliver is standing. With a smile, she tells him, "Oliver, look what I found, some white sheets and another bag. We may not know exactly what to wear in Olympia, but at least we have something to start with when we get there." Oliver nods in agreement, impressed by Isabella's resourcefulness. "You're right, Isabella, these will come in handy." As they discuss their findings, they notice the young boy taking a small pot and filling it with the mashed potatoes, carrots, and onions from the stew. He waves to Isabella and Oliver, and with the pot in hand, he begins to walk back toward the city, likely intending to share the food with his family. Oliver turns to Isabella and asks, "Isabella, do you think there might be more here for us to take with us on our journey to Greece?" Isabella considers Oliver's question for a moment before she replies, "I'm not sure, Oliver. We've found enough to get us started, and I think this is the right time for us to leave Leiden. It's time to embark on the next part of our journey, to discover who the next watcher is." "All right, then," Oliver agrees, the determined look in his eyes. "We must make sure nobody sees us when we activate the watch and disappear." Oliver and Isabella walk between 2 tents, taking cover from prying eyes. There, in the quiet morning haze, Oliver takes Isabella's hand. He instructs her, "Isabella, press the green button." As their hands clasp together, Isabella presses the button. In an instant, they are enveloped by a dazzling display of white lights, and a sensation of weightlessness washes over them. It's as if the ground beneath their feet no longer holds them, and they are lifted into the unknown. As the brilliant white lights slowly fade, Isabella and Oliver find themselves standing on a sun-drenched hillside. Their surroundings are bathed in the warm, golden light of a Mediterranean Sunday. They look around, realizing they are alone in this serene landscape. The hillside is dotted with ancient olive trees, their silvery leaves shimmering in the sunlight. A gentle breeze rustles through the branches, carrying the faint scent of olives in the air. Above them, a few birds soar gracefully through the sky, their wings catching the radiant sunlight as they dance on the warm currents. As they scan their surroundings, they notice not very far away, a quaint little village nestled against the backdrop of the sunlit hills. In the distance, they can make out the figures of people going about their daily routines, their silhouettes moving against the horizon. Standing in the sun-drenched landscape of Olympia, Oliver turns to Isabella with a thoughtful expression. He speaks softly but with determination. "Isabella, let's not make a mistake here. We should always stay close, so we can easily grab each other's hand when needed. We have the red button on the watch to get us out of any situation if things become too uncertain or dangerous." He then gestures to their modern attire, a reminder of their time-traveling origins. "And you're right, it might be wise for us to change our wardrobe." Oliver and Isabella take off their modern coats, folding them carefully, and then drape the white sheets they found in Olympia around themselves. They adjust the sheets to mimic the clothing of the people in the distant village, blending in as much as possible with the local attire. Isabella turns to Oliver with a hopeful smile and asks, "Shall we walk towards the village and see what we will find there?" Oliver, a hint of amusement in his eyes, can't help but start laughing as he looks at their makeshift attire. He turns to Isabella, chuckling, and asks, "What will we do if anybody starts talking to us? We might not be able to answer them." Isabella, with a confident and reassuring smile, gently responds with a question of her own. "Didn't I tell you that I studied ancient Greek? That means I also studied the language, so this will be a great test to see if I'm capable of dealing with this situation. It will be exciting, but we'll do just fine, Oliver. And we can always get out of here." Oliver and Isabella take in the stunning panorama and begin to descend the sunny hill, heading toward the village in the distance. As Isabella and Oliver reach the bottom of the sun-kissed hill, they come upon a well-trodden road. As they stand there, uncertain about which direction to take next, their ears catch the unmistakable sound of wooden wheels approaching. Their eyes widen in anticipation as they exchange a quick glance. Before they can make a decision, the source of the sound emerges around the corner of the road. It's a donkey, harnessed to a small cart, with a man walking beside it. The man's eyes widen in surprise as he sees Isabella and Oliver, clad in their makeshift ancient Greek attire, and he but burst into laughter. Laughter fills the air as the man gently halts the donkey and cart. Tears of amusement roll down his face as he struggles to catch his breath. The man, still chuckling heartily, extends a friendly greeting to Isabella and Oliver. "Hello to the both of you. I must admit, I didn't expect you today. You're doing your best with those bedsheets draped around you," he says with a playful twinkle in his eye. "But let's not dwell on your footwear, shall we?" His comment prompts Isabella and Oliver to look down at their attire, and to their astonishment, they see their modern shoes peeking out from under their white sheets. The realization draws a fresh bout of laughter from the man, who finds their situation immensely amusing. Amidst his laughter, he manages to quip, "It seems like sandals would be more proper for the occasion, wouldn't you agree?" The absurdity of the moment and the friendly banter break the ice even further, forging an unexpected connection between the time travelers and the man they've encountered on their journey, making Isabella and Oliver feeling more at ease. "The people around here call me Nikos," he says. "It's a great pleasure to meet you both." He leans in with a conspiratorial wink and adds, "I knew who you were the moment I saw those shoes of yours. It would be best to continue our conversation at my home. Socializing is quite common here in Greece, so nobody will find it strange if we sit in my garden, talk, and enjoy some food and drink." However, he wisely advises, "To maintain a low profile, hop onto the cart. This way, nobody will notice your shoes." I have some better clothing for you at my house, which will help you blend in more seamlessly for the moment. Dear listeners, as the sun bathes the ancient road in warm golden hues, we bid farewell to this extraordinary day spent in the company of Oliver, Isabella, and their newfound friend Nikos in the heart of ancient Greece. We thank you for joining us on this journey through time and history. Your support means the world to us. Please remember to like, subscribe, and share our adventures, and stay tuned for the next chapter in the incredible story of Oliver the Time Traveler. Farewell, safe travels, until the next one.